Center Live. I'm Leanna Brackett.
And I'm Chris Warren. Wasn't Amazon going to start bringing us pizza with drones or something? Wasn't that
like
the deal?
Bringing your groceries inside your house?
Right, yeah, but that's great, though. I mean, you think about it, how long it's going to take to swim out there, even if you're on a board, just bzzz, drop it out.
Oh, yeah, perfect
Pretty
use.
cool stuff. Meanwhile, back to what we're looking at. It's finally the weekend, almost, for a lot of people, and temperatures, looking pretty nice for some spots. Warming up. And then there's a big storm to talk about, too.
Oh, yeah. We have Winter Storm Jaxon.
And coastal flooding along both the Oregon and Washington coast yesterday. This right here in Lincoln City, Oregon, beautiful Oregon coast. You've never been, might want to go check it out. Not so beautiful, though. On this day, stormy days are beautiful on the Oregon coast, but this is what can happen. This is all set up from what eventually has become Winter Storm Jaxon. Leon is here now with a closer look at this system, what it's doing right now and what's next.
I mean, it's churning up some major waves. I mean, we're watching as of right now, not really much to be seen from Jaxon unless you know where to look. So we're going to kind of take a tour and we're going to kind of go back in time. Your eye goes directly here into the Gulf of Alaska, but that is not Jaxon. Your eye kind of goes over here to all the colors right there, the snow and the rain. That right there is not Jaxon. Jaxon is actually right here. So let's go ahead and take you. We're, of course, right here. There you go. We got that. But water vapor is really where it's at. We're going to watch over the past 36 hours. We're watching as this spurt of energy across the Pacific Northwest, this swirling mass right there, some of that energy gets swallowed up to the south. It gets a little bit more instigated, and this deep trough sets up. So we're seeing this momentum. This is the jet right here. We're kind of seeing the motion going right here. And the low pressure system that is now Jaxon swirls right down here, and it's actually kind of diving down a little bit farther south. So we're going to watch that really get enhanced. Here it is. You're seeing this little low pressure system. A lot of cumulus clouds developing ahead of that as well. But that's going to be moving into Central California, really pick up steam once it gets over the Rockies and head east and north as we get into the next several days. So that's Winter Storm Jaxon, where it's at right now. But we're going to go ahead and talk about what's to come and what to expect from it. Chris?
And it's going to move across a big portion of the country right now. A look at St. Paul, Minnesota. It is a balmy 39 degrees right now, and things are eventually going to be potentially stormy here in the Twin Cities with more snow. In fact, parts of Minnesota into Wisconsin are going to see a lot of snow, and you haven't seen a lot of it, relatively speaking, this time of year. This is a look at some of the numbers here. Now, on average, for the whole season, you would expect in Minneapolis to see close to 30 inches of snow. Last season, almost 24 inches, almost 2 feet. So far this season, just about a foot. Could make up with some numbers real soon here. Let's go now to Dr. Erica Navarro with a look at this system. We know someone's going to get a lot of snow, but pinning down still a couple of days away, it's still kind of difficult, isn't it? There's some haves and have-nots not too far away from each other.
Absolutely. And Chris, that uncertainty might even last until the morning of in some of those places, because there's still enough uncertainty in those fine details that we can't really pinpoint where exactly that heaviest snow is going to fall. But despite that uncertainty, the confidence is very high that this is going to be a significant and impactful winter storm for areas across the Midwest. We've already got those winter storm watches out just to give people a heads up that, hey, travel might be very dangerous as we head into the weekend, and we could be talking about a lot of snow for a very narrow corridor there across maybe southern Minnesota and into Iowa as we head towards early next week. So let's go ahead and take a look at what the models are showing right now. This is the latest GFS forecast showing you that low pressure system there developing right off the Rockies. If you saw Liana talking about it, that's that system that's going to move in here by the time we reach next week. And notice that huge footprint of snow that comes across the Midwest from the southwest up to the northeast. That area in purple and pink is the heaviest snowfall there of about 8 to 12 inches, potentially more. And you can see that the latest run of the model keeps that mainly over southern Minnesota. But there could be some discrepancy in that track, and we can actually run a different slew of models here. So now we can look at a couple different ones, and notice how the tracks here are just a little bit more spread apart. Just how far south or how far north that storm track takes is going to mean the difference between inches of snow and potentially a foot of snow for places like Minneapolis, maybe even potentially places in northern Iowa. This is a very big discrepancy here. It's enough, even though it looks like they're really close together, the details there are fine enough that it could mean the difference of a foot of snow for some people people. So we can actually look at the footprint there in the latest couple of model runs. Notice how these colors jump around a little bit as I flash through the graphics. These are the different model runs. And here's the latest one showing you that models are bringing this in a little bit slower. Notice the pink colors and purple colors really spread up and light up a little bit more. It's bringing more snowfall into a lot of these places across northern Wisconsin, Minnesota, as well as down here in potentially southern South Dakota and Nebraska. We could be seeing 8 to 12 inches of snow. So again, enough certainty is here to say that this will likely be an impactful winter system. For who and exactly where, it's too soon to tell. So you have to watch this very carefully throughout the weekend to see how this develops, because that's going to mean the difference of your impacts in certain areas. So here's a look at our latest forecast right now. You can see plenty of snow coming into those areas I just discussed, and a lot over the Intermountain West. So Liana, especially with the high winds that this storm is also going to bring, we could be looking at very dangerous travel and potential whiteout conditions.
Yeah, that's so true, Dr. Navarro. Thank you so much. And we're going to continue to talk about the timing for some specific cities that are in the heart of all that snow. Taking a look at Minneapolis, Sioux City, and Salt Lake City. This is that snowfall amounts that you can expect. We're going to time it out. Starting Friday, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, we're starting to see the first signs of snow and rain picking up. But it's, of course, snowy across the mountains. But Salt Lake City, you stay rainy for some time through 5 p.m., 9 p.m. That's when you start seeing that snow pick up. Then you stick around. It sticks around all the way into the wee hours of Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, 9 p.m., Saturday evening Mountain Time. That's when you finally see the first sign of snow kind of inching out of your doorway. So as we get into Saturday night, this is how much snow you can expect. At least 1 to 2 inches across Salt Lake City. But of course, across the mountains, closer to 5 or 6 inches possible right there. Now, Sioux City, Iowa, you can also expect the snow to pick up by Sunday night, and it continues into Monday. Almost a foot of snow is possible, 8 to 12 inches, and the temperatures will be remaining around near 30 degrees, with those winds really cranking at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Chris?
All right, Liana, it looks like a sunny day, cool, not freezing, not, oh my gosh, what's going on? What country are we in right now? Kind of cold. Just kind of cool. It's 50 degrees. Seriously, I mean, last week,
true.
Earlier in the week, it's like, where are we? What's going on?
So
Am I still sleeping? It's so cold outside.
Snap out of it, right?
We'll go for a walk right here in D.C. with 50 degrees, and we're going to have some warm weather in many spots. In fact, after some very cold days, we're finally talking about temperatures that are going to be well above average. In fact, perhaps 225 million people could be talking about temperatures that are above average, or they could be like, nah, whatever. Tomorrow, temperatures will be above average by about 15 degrees in the red dot areas, with Baltimore at 54, Boston getting close to the 50s as well. And 47 in Boston, I'm guessing it's probably like 67 in Birmingham this time of year. And Sunday, 34 in Burlington, 55 in Washington, D.C. And Monday, still above freezing in most areas. Meanwhile, thousands of people have contracted the flu this season, unfortunately, and could get a lot.